I'm trying to sign in to my Kindle again. You guys weren't supposed to see me doing all that. But good morning. Let me give you the intro song.
Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. It's a Bible reading party. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.
All right, now I'm officially here. I got to make sure. You know what? Two-step verification is a great thing. That's all I can say. Two-step verification is a great thing. You can have it on different accounts. And what two-step verification is it's something that logs you out of your email or your account or your whatever that you're using. It logs you out regularly so that somebody other than you can't use it. And I had to log back in to my Kindle. And I'm trying to type fast, and I kept typing the password wrong. And it was sending me the special code to my phone. So I'm like, and while I was doing that, I hit a button for you guys to see me. And you weren't supposed to see me. So that's what that was. You guys weren't supposed to see me. I was trying to log in. Oh, technology, how I love you so. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. I thought I was going to need something for 1 Samuel, but I do not. 1 Samuel 1. How's everybody doing today? All right. Let me get it together. So first of all, it's probably going to be a day where there's some buffering. I was trying to take care of that behind the scenes. I'm trying to sign into my Kindle again. Yeah, I know. I said that already. I was trying to take care of this buffering issue. And it looks good. It looks good. If there's buffering, you guys tell me. The only thing I can do is maybe try to repeat myself or slow down. But I'm using an Ethernet, which means it's a solid, dedicated line to my cable box. But every once in a while, it will say, "Warning: you will experience poor streaming. Your audience may experience buffering." And I was trying to do that, and then I couldn't log into my Kindle, so. That's that. But I'm back. So good morning. Let me scroll up to say. Let me scroll up to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, everyone. That's Eva Frazier, the early bird in the room today. The Angela vlog. Good morning. You're the plant lady. That just came in my mind. Eva Frazier says, I hit the like button. Everyone hit the like button. Yes, please. On your way in, if you can remember, bless the like button. It blesses the channel. It blesses the live stream. It boosts me up, promotes me a little bit, so that others interested in this type of content can find it. Let's see. We have everyone have a blessed day with a heart from Eva Frazier. Nicole says, good morning, 40 fam. The Wiz says, good morning, on my way to work. As usual, we'll be listening in the background. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Life of Key says, good morning, blessed people. We got the washing of the hands, the sanitizer, and covering your nose. Yeah, let me make sure. I'm feeling all right today, but I need to make sure. Okay, here we go. I have my sanitizer. And my nose feels okay today, but I got my box of tissues. You don't realize how important a clear nasal passage is until you become a public speaker. And right now, I am working in the capacity of a public speaker. Yes, I am, because you are the public, and I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to you in a clear and loud voice, and I am enunciating my words. And every time you do all of that, you are actually loosening a lot of mucus that may be in your passages and not realize it. So they say it's not good to drink like milk. Milk will have you build up a lot of mucus. That's milk and cheese and sour cream and creamer, yogurt, ice cream, all that milk-based stuff, even powdered milk that is in certain ingredients. All that makes mucus in your body. And so you wonder why you have so much, why you sound so stuffy. And that's part of the reason why I don't think I've been eating dairy lately, but I did just wake up, and so I explained all that yesterday. You lay down, all that liquid throughout your body kind of spreads, and by the time you get up, you have to wait for everything to clear. So that's why I have tissue. For those of you who are new here and wondering, what is she talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Stay safe, everyone, is Eva Frazier. Destiny Forever Walk says, Grand Rising to me. Grand Rising to you. Hello, hello. The Wiz, have a productive day. And that's my message to you guys. It looks like the signal is poor. You never can tell on this side. But I was trying to reset it. It looks like it reset by itself. I'm ready for the Bible party. As of yesterday, my son is 8 months old. Congratulations and happy 8-month birthday. Bless the like button, 8 months old. Yay. Blessed to be alive and making the face. Making the face. Is that me? Is that you? Or is that the 8-month-old? All right, I think everybody is present and accounted for. So let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. It's a Bible reading party. Let me get my biblical literature. There's the first sniff. Not good at all. Okay, so the time is now 7:15 a.m. It says 7:15 on my wall. It says 7:17 on my laptop. It says 7:17 on my phone. So I'm going to go with 7:17. I'm going to set that clock forward when I get off of here. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. The time is now 7:17 a.m. We are in week 20. Week 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We are in week 20 of reading the Bible. How do you read the Bible in a year? 1 week at a time, or 1 month at a time. 1 week at a time. 1 day at a time. 1 hour at a time. 1 passage at a time. That's how you do it. We are in 1 Samuel. We finished up Chronicles, First Chronicles. We finished up 1 Corinthians yesterday. Yes, the Book of Love. The Book of Love, the definition of love, the resurrection of bodies, the resurrection of Christ. Let me see. I'm trying to do as much as I can by memory. How to behave in the church, how to behave during basically the communion, the Last Supper. Let's see. I normally do not do a recap when I'm between books because it's a whole different book. That book is done. But I'm going to make an exception today. I'm going to go back to the love chapter. The last couple days we were talking about public worship, how to have an orderly service, Lord's Supper. Talked about spiritual gifts again. Spiritual gifts. You, yes, you watching, you listening, you have a spiritual gift. Talking about one body with many parts. Talking about love is the greatest. Speaking in tongues and having the spiritual gift of prophecy. There's that resurrection again. Resurrection of Christ. Resurrection of the dead. Resurrection of the body. Collection of Jerusalem. Final instructions for the Corinthians. And final greetings. And yes. And the last thing I was talking about was different personalities and characters that are in the Bible. That I was curious because it was talking about Timothy. When Timothy comes to do his work, don't intimidate him, treat him well. And I was just thinking, what kind of person what kind of person is Timothy that Paul would need to kind of speak up for him? And then it made me curious about all the other different personalities that these people had. And so I gave you guys a link. I don't know if anybody checked it out, but I did drop a link yesterday to a YouTube channel. It's called The Chosen, and it is basically a production made for TV or made for DVD or made for streaming type of production. And it's talking about the life of Jesus, and it really goes into detail of how the type of people that were around at the time probably felt, probably acted, different personalities, different character traits, the habits that they had, and how all that shows up in the Bible. Because we get clues. We don't get a whole lot of description of how people were, but if you read in between the lines, you get kind of clues of what they might have been like. So that's what that was. That's what that was about yesterday when I gave you guys the that link for The Chosen. But now we're back in the New Testament. We are in the first book of Samuel. The author is Samuel, Nathan, and Gad. Samuel, Nathan, and Gad. The date written is unknown, and the genre is narrative. I feel a sneeze coming on. All right, everybody is quietly listening. I found myself on another channel. Don't know what happened. I'm back. Well, what were they talking about? Do tell. Please spill the tea. What was going on at that other channel, The Wiz? You know what? I do that sometimes when I'm listening to my whatever, and I've got headphones in, and I will have my phone in my pocket. And even though I have it tuned to something else because it's a touch screen and the heat of your body can sometimes make it think that you're touching something, I've had that happen myself where it will either pause it or turn it to something else. So yeah, that does happen. Let me put this up here. But I'm glad you're back. Welcome back. You didn't miss anything. I actually was just going over yesterday's recap, which I don't normally do because it's a whole different book. And when that book is closed, I normally keep it closed and just start on something new. So here we are in the book of 1 Samuel, and here's a little blurb, here's a little prelude to tell us about what this book is about. This book records a crucial time in Israel's history. Here the people of Israel rejected God's chosen leader Samuel, a judge, and demanded a king. Despite Samuel's warnings that a king would oppress them, the people insisted that he anoint someone as king. So the leadership of Israel passed from Samuel to Saul, the first king. So you guys remember the last time we were actually in the Old Testament, we read a little bit about Ruth and Naomi and Orpah and Boaz. So that was like a one-day read. We read through that entire book because it's so short. But before we got to Ruth, we were in Judges. Remember the Judges? Oh, I think I deleted them. I kept a little. I think I kept a little list of them on my sticky notes. There was Othniel, Deborah, Ehud, Shamgar. And I don't remember the rest. But I think let me see, did I delete them? Go over my little, yeah, I think I deleted them. No, I didn't. Here they go. There was Othniel, Deborah, Ehud, Shamgar, Gideon. Gideon had a lot of trouble trusting in God that he would win these battles. And he kept testing God. and saying, Lord, if I'm going to have victory, just show me a sign. Show me a sign. Show me a sign. Show me a sign. So that was Gideon. Then there was Tola, Jair, Jephthah, uh, Ibzan, Elon, and Abdon. Those were the judges. And they didn't all come right after another. Boom, 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 boom. They had their moments of glory and victory, and then everything went back to peace for a little while. And then peace fell away, and then the people cried out to the Lord, and the Lord brought forth a judge out of the tribe. So that's what that was. So now it looks like in 1 Samuel, the people say, we don't want a judge anymore. We don't want a temporary hero. Just give us a king. And so here we go. So the leadership of Israel passed from Samuel to Saul, their first king. Here is chapter 1. I found myself on another channel. Don't know what happened. It was some type of ad. Well, hey, maybe that was me. Are you sure? You sure wasn't here? Me? I've been trying to get monetized for like the last week, and it's really weird because I should have been way over my hours, but they keep holding back. They keep holding back. Like, for example, yesterday I was 10 hours away from being having my channel monetized. I was 10 hours away from the minimum of 4,000 hours. And today I'm 10 hours away. Like, it didn't, every day is supposed to update. It didn't update. It's been slowing down. And I know people are watching because I'm watching my analytics, but they're not giving me credit. So I don't know. Maybe you were on my channel and maybe I got an ad and they just didn't tell me. That would be great. Oh, we just want to let you know you've been monetized. We just didn't tell you. Yeah, it was, well, I'll tell you guys after the fact. Remind me if you want the juicy details of that. But right now, let me jump into the Bible. But that would be cool. That would be cool. Chapter 1, Elkanah and his family. Some of these names you don't know if they're male or female until you read the context. But Elkanah, I don't know why I was thinking it was a woman's name. I guess because nowadays a lot of female names have an A or an I sound at the end. But this is Elkanah and his family. There was a man named Elkanah who lived in Ramah in the region of Zuph in the hill country of Ephraim. He was the son of Jeroam, son of Elihu, son of Tohu, son of Zuph of Ephraim. Elkanah had 2 wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah did not. Each year, Elkanah would travel to Shiloh to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of Heaven's armies at the tabernacle. The priests of the Lord at that time were the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phineas. On the days Elkanah presented his sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to Peninnah and each of her children. And though he loved Hannah, he would give her only one choice portion because the Lord had given her no children. So Peninnah would taunt Hannah and make fun of her because the Lord had kept her from having children. Year after year, it was the same. Peninnah would taunt Hannah as they went to the tabernacle. Each time, Hannah would be reduced to tears and would not even eat. Why are you crying, Hannah? Elkanah would ask. Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons? Aw, poor Hannah. And let's see, we've got Hannah's prayer for a son. This is in verse 9. Hannah's prayer for a son. Once after a sacrificial meal at Shiloh, Hannah got up and went to pray. Eli the priest was sitting at his customary place beside the entrance of the tabernacle. Hannah was in deep anguish, crying bitterly as she prayed to the Lord. And she made this vow, O Lord of heaven's armies, if you will look upon my sorrow and answer my prayer and give me a son, then I will give him back to you. He will be yours for his entire lifetime, and as a sign that he has been dedicated to the Lord, his hair will never be cut. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That was chapter 13 of Judges. If anybody wants to read any parallelism, that was chapter 13 in Judges. But now we're in verse 12 and 13 of 1 Samuel. As she was praying to the Lord, Eli watched her. Seeing her lips moving but hearing no sound, he thought she had been drinking. Must you come here drunk? He demanded. Throw away your wine. Oh, no, sir, she replied. I haven't been drinking wine or anything stronger. But I am very discouraged, and I was pouring out my heart to the Lord. Don't think I'm a wicked woman, for I've been praying out of great anguish and sorrow. Oh, in that case, Eli said, go in peace. May the God of Israel grant the request you have asked of him. Jumping to conclusions. This is verse 18. Oh, thank you, sir, she exclaimed. Then she went back and began to eat again, and she was no longer sad. Verse 19 is Samuel's birth and dedication. The entire family got up early the next morning and went to worship the Lord once more. Then they returned home to Ramah. When Elkanah slept with Hannah, the Lord remembered her plea, and in due time she gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, for she said, I asked the Lord for him. I asked the Lord for him. I don't remember if I learned this on my own or if I learned this, here. But every time you see that L on the back of somebody's name, Samuel, Israel, Samuel, something with that L on the end, that part is talking about the Lord. Has some association with the Lord. So Samuel literally meant, I asked the Lord for him. I asked the Lord for him. Verse 21, it says, the next year, Elkanah and his family went on their annual trip to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. But Hannah did not go. She told her husband, wait until the boy is weaned. Hold on. Oh, yeah, in due time. In due time, the baby was born. It's like, wait a minute, we jumped up real quick. The next year. I think I read it, but I glazed over it. The next year, so she's had the baby, and it's either a year old or a little bit under a year. The next year. That could be 3 months, right? 9 months plus 3 months is a year. So from the time she gave birth to a year later, the baby is probably about 3 months old. The next year, Elkanah and his family went on their annual trip to offer a sacrifice to the Lord, but Hannah did not go. She told her husband, wait until the boy is weaned, then I will take him to the tabernacle and leave him there with the Lord permanently. Whatever you think is best, Elkanah agreed. Stay here for now, and may the Lord help you keep your promise. So she stayed home and nursed the boy until he was weaned. When the child was weaned, Hannah took him to the tabernacle in Shiloh. They brought along a 3-year-old bull for the sacrifice and a basket of flour and some wine. After sacrificing the bull, they brought the boy to Eli. Sir, do you remember me? Hannah asked. I am the woman who stood here several years ago praying to the Lord. I asked the Lord to give me this boy, and he has granted my request. Now I am giving him to the Lord, and he will belong to the Lord his whole life. And they worship there. And in chapter 2, we've got Hannah's prayer. But before I do that, I'm going to check in with you guys. I found myself on another channel. It was some type of ad. I never thought of that. I never knew that. You never knew something about something that I said or something that I read. That's the thing about the live chat, is you really have to keep your eyes on it so that you can stay current with what's being talked about. I'm going to do a quick edit here in the title. I put 1 Samuel, but I didn't put the chapters. So I'm going to do that now. We are reading 1 through 3. Samuel 1 through 3. All right. And I even remembered to update my thumbnail yesterday. I'm so proud of myself. Let me do a screen share with you guys so you can see where we are at today. Near the end of Israel's judges, Samuel led Israel as both prophet, one who speaks for God, and judge. So that's where we're at. The book of 1 Samuel recounts his early years and his military victories over the Philistines. Then turns its focus on the rise and fall of Saul, Israel's first king. Despite warnings, the Israelites had asked for a king like those of the nations around them, and God honored their demand. But Saul's refusal to follow God faithfully led to tragic reign. Samuel, this is little baby Samuel, all grown up, delivered the news that God had taken the kingdom from Saul, and after returning home did not go to see Saul again. Although God had rejected Saul as a consequence of his disobedience, Saul would remain in power until his death. So if you look at, let's see, the little yellow box, those are the checkpoints that we're going to read as we go through this week's reading. The Greatest Gift, A Voice in the Night, Donkeys on the Loose, A Prophet's Advice, Disobedience Sacrifice. And I don't think I've actually taken time to share the cover, so I'll do that right now. This is A Woman's Guide to Reading the Bible in a Year. The author is Diane Stortz, and this is the cover of the guide that I'm using. It is helping me read the Bible every day by giving me a certain pace to read at. It's usually about 2 chapters a day, 2 to 3 chapters a day. Sometimes it's 4. And yes, it gives you a breakdown of the weeks. Each week has a different theme. As you can see here, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on down, there's a different theme. That not that she made it up. She didn't make it up. She just observed it in the Bible and put those themes on there so that people would know. Ready and Waiting, Wilderness Travails, A Special Treasure, Choose Life, Power from on High, God on the Move, By Grace Through Faith, Disobedience and Rescue, Darkness and Light, that was last week, and Give Us a King, that is this week. So the link to this is in the description if you're interested. Oops, that was me. If I was going to show you pictures from 1 Samuel, but I didn't need to. So let's take that off. Let that get right. And also, am I back? Yeah, I'm back. Also, the link to this particular Bible that I'm using is also in the description. This is the New Believer's Bible, compact version. That's what it looks like. In case you're wondering why the reading sounds the way it does, is because I am not reading from the King James. I am not reading from the New International Bible. I am not reading from I am reading from a type of study Bible, but it sounds different, much different from these types of Bibles, and that is why. It is a compact version of a New Believer's Bible. Somebody who's never heard of the Word, never heard of probably heard of Christianity, but does not know the story of Jesus, does not know anything about the Bible, doesn't know how to read this type of Bible. And so that's why it sounds the way it does. The L at the end of the names. Oh yeah, and it's not L, it's E-L. E-L. I'm looking something up real quick. Because when I say certain things, I do like to kind of back it up. I wonder, will it be in here? It is not. But Elam is. I grew up with some Elams. Oh, I didn't know they were from the Bible. I didn't know that. Hold on. I got a definition up, but it's the site that it's coming from is not the most reputable, so I want to bring it up from a reputable site so you guys can kind of look it up on your own. Okay, well, I'm going to a Hebrew site, so that's okay. I'd rather get it from here than Quora. Quora is just like a peer review. Quora is no different than Reddit or Wikipedia or something like that. And I was kind of trying to give you guys something a little bit more substantial. Here we go. You see that there? E-L. 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 Not the letter L, but the sound and the two letters put together. E-L. This is from Hebrews for Christians website. The word El comes from a root word meaning might, strength, power, and probably derives from the Ugaritic term for God. In Scripture, the primary meaning of this root are God, meaning pagan or false gods, God, the true God of Israel, and sometimes the mighty, referring to men or angels. When used of the true God of Israel, El is almost always qualified by additional words that further define the meaning that distinguish him from false gods. These other names for titles for God are sometimes called construct forms. And so without going too deep, pretty sure if you think about it, you can come up with a couple of names. I was hoping that it would give me some names, but these are other references to the word El. I'll put this link in the description. I'll put this link on the description so you guys can see it. Matter of fact, let me duplicate this so I can come back to it later. Is that the one I just came from? Here we go. This is just some quick examples. Bethel, Daniel, Gabriel, Ariel, Gadiel. I'm trying to pick out the ones that sound the most familiar in English, that we're probably used to hearing. Joel, Israel, Ishmael, Emmanuel. I said Abriel again. Ezekiel, Ezekiel, Bethel, Michael. Yes, Michael, Nathanael, Othniel, Raphael, Samuel, Uriel. So yeah, those are just a few examples there. I'll let you guys do some study on your own. But I just wanted to go through that and show you guys what I was talking about for clarification's sake. Jeff's in the house. Finley River Kiddos. Hello, Brother Jeff. Hello, Kenya. I dropped you a like at work, leaving you run. The hardest working man on YouTube. I'm telling you, the hardest working man on YouTube. What? Thank you. Thank you. So that was just a quick deep dive into L, not the letter L, but E-L. So as in Samuel. And that was just me observing. That was just me speaking out loud, thinking out loud, observing that, yeah, a lot of these names have that L at the end, and that's the reason why. So Samuel, remember, means I asked God for him because she couldn't have a baby. She couldn't have a baby, and then she, came to the Lord in prayer. She was very emotional, just pouring out her heart. and she was able to have that baby, and she dedicated the baby back to the priesthood, just like she said she would. So that was chapter 1, and now we are. Oh, I was writing, wasn't I? I was in the middle of writing. God, might, powerful. That's what I was in the middle of writing before I went to look this up. So E-L at the end of somebody's name. L at the end of somebody's name. Chapter 2, Hannah's prayer of praise. Then Hannah prayed after she, nursed her little baby. So that means she got to spend about a year with that baby? Maybe 2? Because in that time, well, babies probably nursed for about the age of 2 or 3. So she got to spend a little bit of time with her son before dedicating him. And this is the prayer of praise that she gave. My heart rejoices in the Lord. The Lord has made me strong. Now I have an answer for my enemies. I rejoice because you rescued me. No one is holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Stop acting so proud and haughty. Don't speak with such arrogance, for the Lord is a God who knows what you have done. He will judge your actions. The bow of the mighty is now broken. Or the bow and arrow. The bow of the mighty is now broken, and those who stumble are now strong. Those who were well fed are now starving, and those who were starving are now full. The childless woman now has 7 children, and the women with many children waste away. The Lord gives both death and life. He brings some down to the grave, but raises others up. The Lord makes some poor and others rich. He brings some down and lifts others up. He lifts the poor from dust and the needy from the garbage dump. He sets them among princes, places them in seats of honor. For all the earth is the Lord's, and he has set the world in order. He will protect his faithful ones, but the wicked will disappear in darkness. No one will succeed by strength alone. Those who fight against the Lord will be shattered. He thunders against them from heaven. The Lord judges throughout the earth. He gives power to his king. He increases the strength of his anointed one. And that was her little praise and worship prayer. That was chapters 1 through 10. And in verse 11, it says, Then Elkanah returned home to Ramah without Samuel, and the boy served the Lord by assisting Eli the priest. I have a little bit of information here at the bottom in the postscript, verses 1 and 22. What did I say? I said, but Hannah did not go. She told her husband, wait until the boy is weaned. Then I will take him to the tabernacle and leave him there with the Lord permanently. Other texts may read, I will offer him as a Nazirite for all time. It is very specific. Some manuscripts will add, I will offer him as a Nazirite for all time. All right, going on with verse 12. Still in chapter 2, verse 12. Now the sons of Eli were scoundrels who had no respect for the Lord. It's always the preacher's kid, isn't it? Let me stop. But I mean, really, you would think that the priesthood, they would be like kind of the more well-behaved, more upstanding citizens. Because they're the priest. You're the closest to the guy. You're closest to God. You're supposed to be on the up and up. Oh no, Eli's wicked sons. Oh no. Okay, verse 12. Now the sons of Eli were scoundrels who had no respect for the Lord or for their duties as priests. Whenever anyone offered a sacrifice, Eli's sons would send over a servant with a 3-pronged fork. While the meat of the sacrifice animal was still boiling, the servant would stick the fork into the pot and demand that whatever it brought up be given to Eli's sons. All the Israelites who came to worship at Shiloh were treated this way. Sometimes the servant would come even before the animal's fat had been burned on the altar. He would demand raw meat before it had been boiled so that it could be used for roasting. The man offering a sacrifice might reply, "Take as much as you want, but the fat must be burned first." Then the servant would demand, "No, give it to me now, or I'll take it by force." So the sin of these young men was very serious in the Lord's sight, for they treated the Lord's offerings with contempt. Verse 18, but Samuel, though he was only a boy, served the Lord. He wore a linen garment like that of a priest. Each year his mother made a small coat for him and brought it to him when she came with her husband for the sacrifice. Before they returned home, Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "May the Lord give you other children to take the place of this one she gave to the Lord." Oh, can't you just imagine little Samuel? Oh, little Samuel. And the Lord gave Hannah 3 sons and 2 daughters. Meanwhile, Samuel grew up in the presence of the Lord. Now, Eli was very old, but he was aware of what his sons were doing to the people of Israel. He knew, for instance, that his sons were seducing the young women who assisted at the entrance of the tabernacle. Lord have mercy. Woo! Scandal. Scandal, I tell you. All right, let's keep going. This is still chapter 2, verses 22 and 23. Seducing the young women. Eli said to them, "I've been hearing reports from all the people about the wicked things you're doing. Why do you keep sinning? You must stop, my sons. The reports I hear among the Lord's people are not good. If someone sins against another person, God can mediate for the guilty party. But if someone sins against the Lord, who can intercede?" But Eli's sons wouldn't listen to their father, for the Lord was already planning to put them to death. Oop, oop. Verse 26, meanwhile the boy Samuel grew taller and grew in favor with the Lord and with the people. And here's another observation and curiosity I have. So here's little baby Samuel, or maybe 2 or 3-year-old. Let's call him a toddler, but still a baby. He is dedicated and gone over to the priesthood, and the priest's sons are already there. I wonder how they felt about him or how they treated him. They kind of did things their own way, even though they were raised up from birth, from their own birth. They are raised in a priesthood family. They are the Levites. That's their whole life, right? That's their whole life. That's what we learned about in Leviticus, is their whole family, their whole lifestyle revolves around the priesthood. So here comes this outside kid, and I'm just wondering, how did they treat him? How did they feel about him? They're doing their own thing, but it says that Samuel was faithful and served the Lord. I wonder, did they pick on him like, "Oh, you're a goody two-shoes, huh? Oh, you think you're better than us? We're the actual priesthood. Your mama just dropped you off." I mean, can't you just imagine the types of things that he might have gone through? I'm just curious. But in verse 26, it does say that the boy grew taller, Samuel, and grew in favor. So the Lord was pleased with him. He grew in favor with the Lord and the people. All right, here we go in verse 27, talking about a warning for Eli's family. One day, a man of God came to Eli and gave him this message from the Lord. "I revealed myself to your ancestors when the people of Israel were slaves in Egypt. I chose your ancestor Aaron from among all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer sacrifices on my altar, to burn incense, and to wear the priestly vest as he served me. And I assigned the sacrificial offering to you priests. So why do you scorn my sacrifices and offerings? Why do you give your sons more honor than you give me? For you and they have become fat from the best offerings of my people Israel." Verse 30, "Therefore the Lord, the God of Israel, says, I promised that your branch of the tribe of Levi would always be my priest, but I will honor those who honor me, and I will despise those who think lightly of me. The time is coming when I will put an end to your family, so it will no longer serve as my priests. All the members of your family will die before their time. None will reach old age, and you will watch with envy as I pour out prosperity on the people of Israel. But no members of your family will ever live out their days. Those who survive will live in sadness and grief, and their children will die a violent death. And to prove that what I have said will come true, I will cause your two sons, Hophni and Phineas, to die on the same day. Verse 35. Then I will raise up a faithful priest who will serve me and do what I desire. I will establish his family, and they will be priests to my anointed kings forever. Then all of your surviving family will bow before him, begging for money and food. Please, they will say, give us jobs among the priests so we will have enough to eat. And that is chapter 3. No, that's chapter 2. That's chapter 2. As in Greek and Syriac versions, Hebrew reads, did I reveal myself? The Hebrew word for father, the Hebrew word for ephod. Oh, we'll talk about the priestly vest. Oh, yeah, I missed that part. Verse 233. I'm looking at the postscript here. Those who survive will live in sadness and grief, and their children will die a violent death. In the postscript, it says, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, y'all know about the Dead Sea Scrolls? It read, die by the sword. It was very specific. They would die a violent death, they would die by the sword, is what was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Or in the Masoretic text, it reads, die like mortals. Let me check in with you guys before I go on to chapter 3. Good morning, everyone, says Arlinda Dorsey. Good morning, Kenya. I gave you a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I do see those numbers going up. Arlinda Dorsey, you walked in right as I was reading about Eli's family. Eli, the Levitical priests, the ones that are supposed to be the holiest. His sons were no good. His sons were no good. How embarrassing. How shameful. How shameful. You're supposed to be a role model for the people and an intercessory person to go between the people and God, and your kids aren't doing right. But whoever this man of God is, it doesn't say who it is, but it says in verse 27, one day a man of God came to Eli and gave him this message from the Lord. So that's a prophecy right there. We were talking about prophesying, right? We were just talking about prophecy in 1 Corinthians. And now that we're back in the Old Testament, somebody is bringing a prophecy to Eli about his sons. Let's find out what happens. This is chapter 3 now. The Lord speaks to Samuel. Little baby Samuel, all grown up. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. Now in those days, messages from the Lord were very rare, and visions were quite uncommon. One night, Eli, who was almost blind by now, had gone to bed. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle near the ark of God. Suddenly the Lord called out, Samuel. Yes, Samuel replied. What is it? He got up and ran to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? I didn't call you, Eli replied. Go back to bed. So he did. Then the Lord called out again, Samuel. Again, Samuel got up and went to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? I didn't call you, my son, Eli said. Go back to bed. Samuel did not yet know the Lord because he had never had a message from the Lord before. So the Lord called a third time. And once more Samuel got up and went to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? Then Eli realized it was the Lord. who was calling the boy. So he said to Samuel, "Go and lie down again. And if someone calls again, say, 'Speak, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went back to bed. And the Lord came and called as before, "Samuel, Samuel." And Samuel replied, "Speak, your servant is listening." Verse 11, Then the Lord said to Samuel, "I am about to do a shocking thing in Israel. I am going to carry out all my threats against Eli and his family from beginning to end. I have warned him that judgment is coming upon his family forever because his sons are blaspheming God, and he hasn't disciplined them. So I have vowed that the sins of Eli and his sons will never be forgiven by sacrifices or offerings." In verse 15, Samuel speaks for the Lord. Samuel stayed in bed until morning, then got up and opened the doors of the tabernacle as usual. He was afraid to tell Eli what the Lord had said to him, but Eli called out to him, "Samuel, my son." "Here I am," Samuel replied. "What did the Lord say to you? Tell me everything, and may God strike you and even kill you if you hide anything from me." So Samuel told Eli everything. He didn't hold anything back. "It is the Lord's will," Eli replied. "Let him do what he thinks best." As Samuel grew up, the Lord was with him, and everything Samuel said proved to be reliable. And all Israel, from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, knew that Samuel was confirmed as a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh and gave messages to Samuel there at the tabernacle, and Samuel's words went out to all the people of Israel. Trying to read ahead real quick. We're actually done for today, though. Tomorrow. Interesting. Of course, you don't have to wait for me. If you have a Bible on hand, you can jump ahead and read it yourself. But tomorrow, some things are going to go down. Yeah, some things are going to go down in chapter 4. But today's reading is only chapters 1, 2, and 3. And so there we are. We're done. No commentary from what I can see. No commentary from what I can see. And I don't even think there's anything I need to read in my Bible dictionary. Today we're just at an hour. Sort of kind of a short, medium reading. Hey, there's Elimelech. That was Naomi's husband that we read last week. There's a lot of Bible names in here, but not every biblical term is in here. I was going to look for Eli. That's what I was doing. Elijah. Now that's funny because I was just talking about L at the end of names. And there's lots of L's at the beginning, like Eli, Elijah, Elihu, Eliakim. And all these still mean God something. Eli, here we go, Eli. The Lord is high, Eli. A judge and high priest with whom the prophet Samuel lived during his childhood. The first mention of Eli occurs when the childless Hannah poured out to him her unhappiness over her barren condition. Later, her prayers for a son were answered when Samuel was born. True to her word, she brought her son to the tabernacle and dedicated him to God. There, the future prophet lived with the high priest Eli. Eli was a deeply pious man whose service to the Lord was unblemished. However, he was a lax father who had no control over his two sons. Phineas and Hophni took meat from sacrificial animals before they were dedicated to God. They also lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle. God pronounced judgment on Eli because of his failure to discipline his sons. God's judgment was carried out through the Philistines. Hophni and, well, I won't read that part because that'll be what do they call it? Spoiler alert. No, I'll just read it. I'll read it because we're going to read it tomorrow anyways. God's judgment was carried out through the Philistines. Hophni and Phineas carried the Ark of the Covenant into battle to help the Israelites, and both were killed. And the Ark was captured. When Eli, 98 years old and nearly blind, heard the news, he fell backward and broke his neck. God's final judgment against Eli and his descendants occurred when Solomon removed Abiathar, Eli's descendant, and installed Zadok, don't know who those people are yet, in his place as the high priest of the nation. So that's Eli, meaning the Lord is high. There's another name here, Eliakim, God is setting up. Elihu, I've been calling him Elihu. Elihu, he is my God. Elijah, the Lord is my God. Elimelech, my God is king. Elisha, my God saves. Elizabeth, God is my oath. And I'm pretty sure you guys can find some other names with it either at the beginning or the end. That L at the beginning or the end, it means God something or something of God. So I thought that was interesting for me to bring up. I'm listening in the background. Does that still last until today? The people die at a young age. Well, I don't think those sons had any children. So I think at that point that generation was wiped out, that particular generation. And I mean, there were other Levite priests, but we're talking about this set. Like, this guy had children and his particular family, I think they were wiped out. The bloodline stopped with them. Eli makes me think of the Book of Eli. Yes, the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington is a great piece of artistic work with biblical influences. And there is a top story that you see, but if you pay attention, there is a behind the scenes story, or there's a, what do you call it? Sub-story. There's a sub-story. His blindness is symbolic of something. What he's holding is symbolic of something. What he's listening to is symbolic of something. The people who are chasing him and trying to kill him is symbolic of something. So yes, the Book of Eli, I did watch it several years ago. And yeah, the reason that they made that his character gave his character that name is symbolic. So yes, the Book of Eli was a very good one. And you know what? I might watch it today. Knowing what I know now. I feel like and I've talked about this before, media, music, different things. There's an entertainment value. There's a distraction value to everything. But there's always a message under everything we watch. Everything you listen to. There's meaning behind it all if you take the time out to look. Everyone watching, give Kenya a thumbs up. Yep. Thumbs up. Right? Everybody watching, give me a thumbs up. I'll give my thumbs up. She's doing a fantastic job. I might watch it again too. Yeah, check it out. Check out the Book of Eli. If y'all do, come back and let me know what you thought about it. If anybody got a chance to check out the other link that I gave, let me know. All right, I got too many tabs open and now it's freezing up on me. Gonna wait. Do 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 do. There we go. Sometimes you just have to lean back and not do anything. I'm gonna leave those links in here today in case somebody is curious. Or, you know what? I could put it in the description. because I don't think some people might not even go back to the live chat. You can go back to the live chat. If you watch this over again, you can see the live chat moving along at the same pace that it would have been moving along if it was live. But I'm going to put this in the description if anybody's interested. This is called The Chosen. And it is another YouTube channel. And it goes into, like I mentioned before, some of the personalities and characteristics, and really shows like the human side of these people that we're reading about. When you're reading it in the Bible, you kind of get the story of it, but it's not like you're not really emotionally investing yourself. It's just, the Bible people. You feel kind of distant. But when you're watching this particular type of production, like with any movie, you kind of start to relate to the characters, and you kind of feel for them, and you kind of start to care about them a little bit. So that's interesting. And here's something else I was checking out yesterday, and I think I'm going to subscribe to this channel because it's really interesting. I find that the more Bible related stuff that I start watching, the more Bible related stuff becomes the more Bible related stuff comes up in my suggestions. And that applies to a lot of things in life. The more you do something, the more those types of things become attracted to you. I'm not talking about the law of attraction per se, but I'm saying the more you do something, the more that kind of stuff kind of comes to you. And so whatever you watch on YouTube will start to suggest those types of things for you, because it's like, oh, that's what they're interested in. Let's give them what they want. Give the people what they want. I'm dropping 2 links in here now, and I think you might enjoy them. You can go check them out when we are done, and come back tomorrow and let me know what you think. I'm putting the links in the live chat, and I'm also putting them in the description so you can come back later. And yeah, let me know what you think. All right, so let me do a final read through and roll call. I might watch it again too. Yeah, if anybody's interested in learning more and deepening your own understanding, and you are into being read to or watching rather than reading, those are 2 good links, because it's giving you some of the information. I always suggest never take anybody's word for it. Always go back and do your own research. So you might want to have your Bible and read along, or you might want to refer to your Bible from time to time. But those are 2 good sources for people who are interested in learning more about the Bible, but they feel intimidated, or they don't have time to sit down and read, or they got other stuff going on. You can play these channels in the background and kind of pick up subconsciously, or just bits and pieces as you go along. So shout out to Eva Frazier, shout out to the Angela vlog, shout out to Nicole, shout out to the Wiz, shout out Life of Key, shout out Destiny Forever Walks, shout out, I think I said Eva Frazier, didn't I? Shout out Nicole, shout out the Wiz, shout out Finley River Kennels, shout out to Arlinda Dorsey, and even shout out to Nightbot, who did not time anybody out unnecessarily today. Yeah. I did my screen share. Yes, I did my screen share. And before I forget, I'm also going to put those 2 websites in the description. So if anybody wants to go back, when we were talking about L-E-L on people's names, I'm going to put that in the description right now before I forget. E-L as part of names. And that is that particular, that is one and the Hebrew names for God. So I actually didn't read all of that. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. But that first website that I went to, it is HebrewsForChristians.com. Hebrew, like the Hebrew language. HebrewForChristians.com. No, you don't have to be able to speak Hebrew language or know their alphabet, but it's giving you a breakdown of some stuff so that when you come across it in the Bible, you'll be a little bit more familiar with what it means or why it's wrote that way. So those are I just put 4 links in the description for people who want to go back. 2 websites and 2 YouTube channels. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Bible and try to figure this stuff out on your own, which I always highly, highly encourage. All right. Enjoy it as always. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day, everyone. Amen. And we got some rejoicing hands up. And yes, those are the 2 links that I gave. Cool. On that note, let's do a little pray and be out on our way. One day, I'm going to get that Chinese food. Because every time I say pay way, you know what I'm thinking of, right? Way and pay way and Chinese food deliciousness. Oh, just give me an egg roll. Okay, let me stop. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for this beautiful Wednesday. It's hump day. We made it halfway through. Nowhere to go but on the other side of this week. I'm thankful for the opportunity to read my Bible in the comfort and safety of my own home. I'm thankful for the technology to be able to reach out to other people in other places and spaces and read to them and read with them if they're reading along. And I'm so glad that there's different resources right at the tips of my fingers. I can just reach out to different websites and learn whatever it is that I'm trying to learn about. It's just so easy. It's so easy. I'm really, really thankful. It's so easy to learn nowadays. It's pretty much put right in our lap. Everything that we need to do, want to learn, want to become, it's right there at our fingertips. So for that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for everyone who took the time out to come in and listen to the Bible reading. I pray that whatever they heard, they gleaned something from it. They learned something from it. It gave them the answers that they needed or answered the questions that they had, inspired them to do something or look up something or maybe just pray. So I also pray, Lord, that everyone listening now or on the replay, that they're motivated to pick up a Bible and dust it off and open up some chapters and read it so they can come to their own understanding, or maybe even download an app or watch one of the links that I gave so they can just take one more step closer to you, understanding who you are and who they are and what the relationship between you and us is. And so we can come to our own understanding and build our own faith. That is my prayer for today, this wonderful Wednesday, this May 13th of 2020, and whatever time it is now. That's my prayer. Amen. It doesn't take much. It does not take much. It does not take much. Yes. It does not take much. Just a little pray will send you on your way. What? I pop up and I see a new name in the chat and I'm just like, wait, that name wasn't there a second ago. Good morning, Erica Brene Vlogs. How are you doing today? Yes, how are you doing today? No, literally, I want you to type back how you're doing, because you have been quiet lately and I've been wondering about you and worried about you. I think you're doing pretty well, though. I think you're doing pretty well. From your last video that I checked with you, you had a smile on your face. You look pretty calm, cool, calm, and collected. But Yes. Thank you for stopping in and let me know. There you go. I'm well. What about you? I like it when you talk back to me. I'm doing good. I'm a little tired today. I'm hungry and I'm happy. Happy, hungry, and tired. That's not a bad combination, I guess. But I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go make me some breakfast. I'm actually going to start switching up my schedule just a little bit because I go back to work, you guys. I know I said this yesterday. I think I said this yesterday. I go back to work already. I go back to work Sunday night. So at some point, I'm going to have to start taking naps in the day so that I can sleep a little bit later at night so that I can start getting used to being up all night. You said you were worried about the mammogram for months. So you had just now started sharing it with us, but it was on your mind all that time. I didn't know that. I thought that was all recent. See, here's what people don't realize. When we put stuff out there on YouTube, people think, oh, it's just happening at that moment. And people don't realize things are going on in people's lives all the time. They might not talk about it. They might not bring it up. But people are dealing with things all the time. And by the time they bring it to us on YouTube, it's something that they've been dealing with and wrestling with for a while now. Well, I'm glad that it all came out okay, because from what you said, I think you said it was just a cyst. And us women with our bodies and the hormones and the way things go sometimes things just change in our bodies and sometimes just nothing to worry about at all. So I'm very, very happy. And thank you for being brave enough to put that on there. I don't know if I left that in my comments, but thank you for putting that out there because some women don't want to share. Some women don't want to share anything. And I think this particular platform, it can be so helpful for us to reach out to people and connect with people. We might not have all the answers, but when you put yourself out there, you just inspired somebody else to go get a mammogram. You inspired somebody else to take care of themselves and put their health first. You inspire somebody else to not ignore whatever that lump or bump or, I've been feeling kind of weird lately. You inspire people when you put your stories out on YouTube. And it's a fine line. It's a fine line between telling all your business, but still being vulnerable enough and open enough to share with people. You never know who you can help and who you can reach or touch. I mean, you just never know. You never know. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, I know you can't click on our link because YouTube has done away with that. You used to be able to just click on the person's thing. But you see how her name is written? At some point, you might be able to highlight, like copy and paste. If you know how to do that, if you can do it. I know how to do it on my phone, but copy and paste, check her out. I think it's the last video that you made because I don't think I got any new notifications from you. But check out the last video that she made. You guys will know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's hard being a YouTuber. And I'm not talking about the editing. I'm talking about exposing ourselves to you guys. The good, the bad, the ugly, the uncomfortable, the embarrassing, the somewhat private. When we put our stories out there, it's there to help somebody else. Like my friend Katatin Cooking Mama's Homestead. She's in here a lot of times. She's not in here today. I read her community post yesterday. She's going through a lot. She's the prepper. She's the prepper lady. She's the lady that I say I love her accent because she's from Maine. And she sounds like my favorite author, Stephen King. She's like, yeah, we had dinner with him once. I was like, oh, I'm jealous. But yeah, she's a prepper and she lives pretty much off grid, or she's transitioning to live off grid. And it's a hard life. And all that she brings on YouTube, how to can food, how to make this garden, how to how to build this. She is opening up her life to help people learn how to be more sustainable, how to depend on yourself, how to make your own resources, how to coupon, how to budget. She puts a lot out there too to help people. And she's not here right now. She's going through a lot. She doesn't put it all out there to let us know the struggles, but she's struggling too. And we're all in this together, Yep, just a cyst, but the lump freaked you out. Thank you. I'm working on a new vlog for this week. I will be right there waiting for it. I'm gonna shoot for 1 week now. Okay, that'll be cool. Do what you can do. Miss Katahdin Cooking Mama's Homestead, she said she's going to take off for a little bit. So I don't know if she's going to be uploading for a while or if she'll even be watching. I know sometimes us YouTubers, us creators, sometimes we got to take a break altogether. Sometimes we have to take a break altogether. We don't even log in to watch other people because it takes so much out of you to produce content and then to watch content and still produce it and watch it. It takes a lot. So she's taking a break. I saw her community post. And then I know like Miss Corey B, she hasn't been on in a while, but she actually had some things going on at the start of the year. A loss of a family member, and then the kids being at home with the shut-in stuff. It's a lot of people really, really trying to work hard to manage their life outside of YouTube and then manage their YouTube thing. So yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work. Editing is really hard for me. Editing is fun for me, but it's so time consuming. It is so time consuming. People watch a little 3-minute video or 5-minute video and don't realize it took 10 times as much time to make it go together smooth like that. Before I get off of here, I do want to mention one thing, and no, it's not Bible related. I know it's not Bible related, but still, at the top of the hour, I was talking about who said that? The Wiz. The Wiz. Let me put my little timestamps on here so I can see. So the time is now 8:26, and a little while ago, the Wiz said, the time was 7:22, and the Wiz said, I found myself on another channel. I don't know what happened, but I'm back. And then she said it was some type of ad. And then I responded. I said, well, maybe it was my channel. I don't know. And here's the thing. So I've been checking myself. I've been taking a screenshot of my hours every day. Because I know, if nothing else, I'm going live every day. So I should get like 2 or 3 hours, or a minimum of 2 or 3 hours, or however much time from that, right? So if nothing else, if nobody watches anything else, I know I'm getting something from the lives every day. And I was getting this much every day. Then as I got closer to my goal, I'm getting this much every day. Then as I got closer to my goal, I'm getting this much, and then this much, and then this much. And I told my sister the other day, I said, I only got 4 hours. I only got 4 hours one day, and I'm averaging. How do you go from averaging 50 hours a day to 30 hours a day to now only 10 hours a day to now only 4 hours a day? And today, because I check it every morning right before I come on, I didn't get no hours yesterday. How is that possible? I didn't get no hours. I went live all this week. And I even uploaded something for you guys. I did part 2 of the Fort Worth, downtown Fort Worth, not downtown Fort Worth, the stockyards. And not too many people watched it, but still, somebody watched it. So you telling me I didn't even get now 1 single hour? It's interesting. So I went from having an average of this much every day. Boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden I'm getting this much a day. Boom, 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 boom. And now I'm getting this much. Like, I feel like I'm being throttled. You know what throttling means? I think that's a Wi-Fi term. You downloading something from your network provider, and then all of a sudden it starts buffering and buffering. You're like, it never buffered before. It's because they're slowing down your internet. They're slowing down your internet power. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm looking at my time, and I even use a little calculator like, ooh, I got such and such hours to go. And then between yesterday and today, I earned no hours, 0. But I say all that to say, since the Wiz has been watching me, and all of a sudden she says, oh, I ended up somewhere else, and I don't know, it was an ad. I'm wondering, did they monetize me and not tell me? Is that, I mean, did it monetize on their side and it's just not showing up on my side, or what? I don't know. It's curious. I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, I should have got 10 hours yesterday. I calculated it. And I didn't get any time at all. Who knows? Who knows? It's not in my control. It's not in my control. But in either case, that was interesting. I just wanted to bring that up because I said I was going to talk about it at the very end. I agree. Very good to share your struggles. You never know who you'll bless. All hard work is because you're close. you'll get it in the email. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is, but it's just funny. It's just funny. It's just funny. I'm watching my hours as close as I'm watching my bank account lately, and I'm like, I know I should have got mine. I'm watching it closer than. So I know I should be over it. I should actually be over it, but who knows? And yes, it's good to share your struggles, but I know sometimes people have told me in the past I shouldn't say certain things or I shouldn't reveal certain things about myself. Um, I know what I want to say and what I don't want to say, and I kind of know the line, but I feel like it's more important for me to be authentic and put my real self out there and help somebody than just to put on a shiny face and, oh, my world is perfect. Everything's fine. Yes, I have no problems. And not only am I lying to everybody else, I'm lying to myself. And I'm stopping a blessing from somebody that might need it. It might be somebody out there that is a single mom dealing with depression, celibate for 6 years, hates her job, trying to do eBay. You know, you never know what somebody's going through. And if they tune in to YouTube and they say, oh, they actually said that. I don't believe she actually shared that about herself. That's what I'm going through. Bam. That's worth than any criticism that I might get back. Now, I'm not going to give y'all my social security number and my address and all my personal stuff, but I don't mind opening myself up. I'm just as dry and ashy. I got to go take a shower. And once I get out of the shower, I'm going to get buttered, baby. I'm going to get all buttered up. Yeah. I'm like literally dry and ashy. Got my butter. Got my lip gloss. And that's that. Okay, everybody. I done talked about the Bible and I done talked about everything else. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Thank you again for Miss Erica. You know what? Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, something. I said, I have no idea what I'm rapping or singing or humming. It sounds like something from the 90s, though. I said, all right. Since I know YouTube is being kind of a butt lately with people's not being able to click. Bam, there we go. Oh. It might have been helpful if I put what this is for, right? Yeah, might be a little helpful. There we go. So, to bring everybody in the loop, because I feel like we were just having a little inside conversation there for a second, let me bring everybody into the loop. The conversation that I was having with Miss Erica Benet Blogs. If you would like more information on what we were talking about, that is the link to her channel. You can go check it out. And yeah, so support my YouTube friend here. Now that I've got it all out of my system, now I can say it's theme song time. You got your lip gloss yesterday? Girl. I can do lip gloss. I do lipstick every once in a while, but I actually prefer just the gloss. I just prefer the shiny lip look. Anyways, y'all know what I'm trying to say. You guys got a bunch of links to follow today. Whatever you click on, remember when you can always come back to this live chat replay. And you might have to fast forward to get to some of it, but you can come back to this replay later and you can click on one of those websites or the other two YouTube channels that I was talking about, the Bible-related ones, or my girl Erica's there. On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow because my stomach is going rah, 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 rah. Like my sister said, rada, that's chowder, isn't it? Nah, it's my stomach saying, feed me, Audrey, feed me. That's Little Shop of Horrors. I told you I watched a lot of TV as a child, a lot.
Entrepreneur Drive for the Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive for the Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive for the Entrepreneur Drive. Thanks for watching, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you at the next Bible reading party, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time.